Today is Tuesday, April 24th, 2012, and we are interviewing Rick Huckaby Sr. At the Illinois State Library. Mr. Huckaby is 60 years old, having been born on April 26, 1946. My name is Regina Korthals, and I'll be the interviewer. Mr. Huckaby, could you state for our recording what war and what branch of service you served in?
I served during the Vietnam era in the United States Army.
And what was your rank?
E7.
And where did you serve?
I served in Okinawa in the United States.
What was your job assignment?
I was in a nuclear weapons program.
Ooh. Okay, did you see combat firsthand?
I did not have boots on the ground in combat zone,
okay.
No.
Were there many casualties in your unit?
Fortunately, none.
Okay. Can you tell me a couple of your most memorable experiences?
Certainly. It was a tremendous opportunity I had thanks to the government, that I was able to travel outside of the United States, in which, unfortunately, due to monetary circumstances, I'd never been able to afford to do that, particularly to see the Orient.
Mm-hmm.
The people were beautiful. It's a beautiful part of the world. There's basically third world countries. Heck, they need our help. And obviously that there's a reason we're there to assist them for a better life, and also to protect our own country here in the United States. Okinawa, the island that I was on with a nuclear program, we were actually the only body of water between Red China and the continental United States. A lot of the things in the weaponry that we did was classified. I'm quite sure it still is today. But it was just an amazing piece of the world. I was very fortunate. Obviously, whenever I sat down and wrote a written test for the Army, I did very well. That's why I did not have the opportunity to experience combat. The nuclear program was, to me, just outstanding.
Were you awarded any medals or citations?
Yes.
That you're like overly proud of? I know you get lots of little things here and there. But
there was an Army Accommodation Medal. I received several of those. Army Achievement. There was another one that was the Presidential Unit Citation Award, and just various other awards that go along with being in the military.
Was there any particular battle or anything that you got anything for?
No.
Okay. Can you tell us about staying in touch with your family?
It was back in those days. It was on reel-to-reel tapes. That was well before we had the cassettes and etc. But on occasion, through ham radio, you would have contact, or that was very few and far between. But just basically, as I say, the reel-to-reel tape recording.
Okay. What was
and letters, of course.
What was the food like? Do you recall that? Did you get some real Japanese food, or?
Oh, absolutely. That was readily available, and even today, I still enjoy rice.
Yeah. Did you have just the regular Army rations?
Correct.
For food? Did you guys have plenty of supplies with your unit? Did you ever have times where you had to go without anything?
No, not with the program that I was in. We were very well cared for.
Yeah, it sounds like you were in a very good program. Did you feel any pressure or stress during your time?
Just nothing out of the abnormal.
Okay. Did you have anything or carry anything special for good luck?
St. Christopher Medal.
Did you? Okay. How did you guys entertain yourselves? Were you a serious group? Did you guys? Okay.
No, we had our free time.
Okay. You just played a lot of touch football. And
certainly.
Okay. Were there any entertainers that came to see your unit?
Yes, there were, and I forget who they were.
Oh, did you have Bob Hope? The guy before had Bob Hope?
No, Bob Hope was not there. It was USO Entertainment, in which naturally was Bob Hope, but he was not willing to stop there.
Okay. What did you do when you would have leave time?
Sleep.
Sleep a lot. Okay.
It's too far to return back to the States for that short period.
Where did you travel when you were in the service?
Just basically throughout the Orient.
Okay. All right. Do you recall any particularly humorous or unusual event?
Certainly. There was one incident where we had a change of command. We had a new colonel come in, and he flew in by helicopter, and one of the young lieutenants thought it would be a wonderful program if they had a element of troops fall out in their dress uniforms to greet the new commander with weapons. Well, what they called pop smoke through a smoke canister so the helicopter pilot would know where the windage was coming into land. And as soon as the commander stepped off the helicopter, I went back in my office, which is a little further up on what was called a hill. He headed right for that, and he asked me in several cuss words what was going on out there. And I smiled and said, "Sir, this young lieutenant thought it'd be wonderful if you would inspect the troops." He had no clue at that time. It was not his business. So I reached for my weapon behind the door and showed him what they would go through, and I suggested that he would not inspect weapons. He'd just merely go up and down the ranks. And one individual from New York had on what's called low quarters, your normal shoes, and he had polished them and not buffed it off, so he thought it'd be great if he had polished them on the calf of his clothing.
Oh.
So he consequently had about 8 inches on both legs of black shoe polish on the back, which I thought that was humorous. And actually, so did the commander. However, after that fiasco was over, he addressed the young lieutenant and got things straightened out, in which those things happen.
What were some of the pranks that you or others would pull?
Actually, none.
No, just
No,
that's kind
it
of
was just in a serious business here.
Sure.
We were doing our job and was very sincere about it. Gee, we had nuclear weapons sitting around.
Okay. Do you have any photos,
No
or did you
fun
bring anything that you'd like to share with us today?
No, I did not.
What did you think of your officers and fellow soldiers?
I thought they were outstanding. They had all come up through the ranks, probably 98% of them, and they would relate to the enlisted personnel such as myself. They understood, and this here has always been a joke, that if you want to know what's going on, go to an enlisted individual that's in charge of the troops, and they'll lead, guide, direct you in the proper direction. So many times young officers go overseas, and whenever they get off the back of the truck, they have a complete entourage of regulations they're carrying, and the first thing they need to do is dispose of those, because unfortunately it's not applied to certain scenarios. It looks good in a classroom. I'm all for that. That's why you have classes. Mm-hmm. But with actual real-time application, you've got to, be able to stretch that rubber band before it breaks.
Yeah. Okay. Did you keep a personal diary?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Okay. Do you recall the day your service ended?
Yes. Actually, I had a break in service, and for about 4 years, and then I went back in the military. But that first rotation back from overseas, boy, whenever you spend 1.5 years with your fellow comrades, it's just like family.
Okay, where were you when your service ended? Were you?
I was in Travis Air Base in California.
Okay. What did you do in the days and weeks afterward?
I went back to my civilian employment, which was with the media.
Okay, it says, did you go to work or did you go back to school? Did you use the GI Bill to get any kind of education?
Yes. And that was locally here at Lincoln Land Community College in Springfield.
Okay, what did you take? What was your interest?
The psychology courses, business courses.
Okay. Did you make any close friendships while in the service? Do you continue those today?
No.
Did you join a veterans organization?
Correct.
Okay. What kind of activities does your post or association have?
Currently, I'm the commander of the Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 15 here in Springfield. And anything that is veteran-oriented, all the way from the 4th of July to Memorial Day to Veterans Day to Pearl Harbor Day. We have festivities out at the chapter for that.
I see. What career did you choose after your service time?
What the heck did I do? Oh, I was in the media business.
Okay.
And then after that, excuse me,
Wow.
whenever I went back in the military, I retired from the Army and ended up down in Oklahoma for 6 years with a friend of mine. And basically, we bought property, mountain land, and then we had crews of builders who would build cabins. And then I'd market that through the greater Dallas area. And of course, there's a boyhood dream, living in the mountains in a cabin. And it was very lucrative. We did quite well with that. Basically, because if you lived out of state, your out of state banking facility will not loan in another state. The state you're getting a retreat in will not loan because you don't live there. So we financed everything ourselves.
Okay. Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or military in any general way?
Just make it bigger and better.
Okay. Do you attend reunions at all?
No.
How has your service and experiences affected your life?
I grew up, had a complete change of attitude with respect for your fellow veterans or just people in general. You don't just not have to be veterans, but your neighbors, your community, the various events that they do at fundraising for, whether it be veterans or people in need. And it just created an all new world for me.
That's good. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just had a good time with it.
Okay.
I'd do it all over again.
Thank you very much.
Is that it?
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
girls, I appreciate it.